Hey YouTube, how's it going? Thomas here. Today I was wanting to talk to you about my computers and my gaming rigs and just the different computers I've had over the years and things like that. Currently doing annual maintenance on them. Every year I'll take my computers apart, I'll service them, I'll clean them, get all the dust, everything out of them. And it keeps your systems running better and stuff. Most people don't do it. They pack full of dirt, dust, they don't run right, they overheat, they mess up, and everyone's like, oh, my computer sucks. Well, the computer is downgrading itself due to the fact that the computer is most likely overheating, the CPU, all that kind of stuff. So every year I'll take my computers apart, I'll replace the thermal paste, and just things like that, you know, dust it out, all that good stuff. I got my cans of compressed air over here, so works great to help get rid of all that, you know, dirt and dust and stuff out of the case, you know, and then just, you know, dirt and dust, stuff like that out of the case, get them clean. But I want to talk to you about my different computers here. And I want to start off with this one here. This is an IBM ThinkPad. This is really my first computer that belonged to me. When I was little, my mother, my father, and everybody, you know, they had compacts and stuff, and they had like 256 megabytes of RAM, so they were really low end. But this was really my first personal computer here, and this was an IBM ThinkPad. I got it in Salem, Virginia. They had a big convention there, electronic convention. They were selling laptops, all kinds of stuff that was refurbished, and this was one of the refurbished products here. And I went in and bought this here. It was like about $300, and it's been a great laptop ever since. It has the little red button here on the keyboard that you have to push to move the mouse around, and I love that. I hate these new things where you have to kind of touch and move it around on these new laptops. I hate that. I love these red dots. It hurts your finger. It might wear a blister there, but believe me, you can actually control your mouse and you don't have any problems with it. So I love these kind of laptops and stuff here. But this is you know, a really old computer. It's got 32 megabytes of RAM. And I actually upgraded it to 64 megabytes of RAM. And the funny thing about it is, DSL modems today require 256 megabytes of RAM just for the installation software. So I cannot put high-speed internet on this laptop, and I think that's just a tragedy. I love this laptop. It runs Windows 95. It's the only thing that will actually run on it, and Microsoft no longer supports that. But, I mean, Microsoft's probably saying, who in the hell is using a laptop from the 1990s? Well, I am. So moving on. But this over here is a Delta Minium 3000, this computer right here on the very end. And I got that when I was probably about 15 years old. My father purchased it for me. It was about $1,000 at the time. Now retail it's probably about $80. I mean, just because it's used and stuff like that. So I mean, I'd be lucky to get $80 out of it. But my dad got that for me for Christmas, and that was my Christmas gift. And I spent, oh my God, back when I used to play RuneScape, I grinded and stuff on that computer. I mean, that computer was on 24/7. I'd play 12, 14 hours a day on RuneScape. You know, go to school, come home, play RuneScape until time to go to school, and then go to school, put my head down, and go to sleep. The teachers get on me all the time for sleeping in school, but I mean, I was always playing RuneScape. You know, I'm a gamer. You know, that's what I do. I play video games for a living. I mean, screw school. You know, and you know, it's paying off. You know, it's really paying off because, you know, I'm doing good. You know, I've been gaming for a long time. You know, I mean, I've wrote reviews. You know, I've made money from it. You know, I've beta tested. You know, I'm doing good. And I really am doing good when it comes to gaming because I've been doing this for so long. But you know, this Delta Minium 3000. I put 2 graphics cards in it, and I was actually running a triple monitor setup. And each graphics card was like 250 megabytes, which was actually pretty good at the time because graphics cards had just like come out. You know, when I really started using graphics cards and stuff, they were relatively new. And you know, we had and that's got a single core processor, and it had I think it had 1 GB of memory in it, and it was later upgraded to 2 GBs of memory, and it's got about 120 GB hard drive in it. And I thought the hard drive was going to bad in it here lately, and I put a new hard drive in it, and the one CD-ROM drive in here stopped working. That's why there's no CD-ROM drive in there. But it turns out that the hard drives were not going to the bad, and the problem was actually that the graphics cards in this computer had actually gone to the bad. And just last year, Microsoft stopped supporting Windows XP. So what I done was I actually, you know, reformatted the computer for the first time, and I installed Linux on here. And I currently use this as a secondary computer. So when I'm on my actual, you know, gaming computer playing video games, stuff like that, sometimes, you know, you can't really minimize or something like that to talk to your buddies or whatever, or talk to somebody on Facebook, stuff like that. You just don't want to minimize your game. So I have my keyboard and mouse down here I play on, and on top of my desk I have another keyboard and mouse, and I have a monitor mounted to the wall off to the side of me. So whenever I'm playing a game or something, I can actually switch over to this computer here and use that just for talking on social media, things like that. And it works great, I mean, for a Linux-based operating system. And, I'm happy with it. I mean, it does exactly what I want it to do, and that is, talk to friends and stuff while in game. Now moving on to my next gaming rig. I bought this here, and this ain't so much a gaming rig, but this is one of my computers. I bought this about 2 months ago, and this here is about a $400 bare bone PC is what I bought it as. It's actually, it didn't have an operating system, nothing really on it, and it was about $400. But I purchased this off of Newegg, and I decided to build a server. And the server was shipped up to a data center in Michigan. Good experience with them, but we had problems with the server. We were running a Linux-based operating system with SSDs, and the SSDs maxed out. The server would not restart at the data center, so I just had them ship it back versus having the technicians troubleshoot for $100 an hour, because $100 an hour, that gets expensive real quick with a data center. I learned very quickly that when you go to a data center, don't think about your hardware. I mean, hardware doesn't really matter. It is where your money is in the labor costs and all that stuff, the hosting. Just think about how much you're paying for the hosting. Don't really think so much about your servers, your hardware, stuff like that. Or, yeah, you're going to learn it the hard way. But this here computer runs Linux. I'm probably going to install a copy of Windows on it, so I'll have another Windows computer here. I'm going to probably wait for Windows 10 and install on this, or get me another copy of Windows 7. But this is actually currently running a quad-core processor. I did have an 8-core in here, and it currently has 8 GBs of memory, and it actually originally had 32 GBs of memory, but I took that memory and actually put it over here into my gaming rig, but I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But this is actually a great computer. I have 120mm fans mounted to the front here. It's got my CD-ROM drive, and really I just use it right now as a home server. I have my websites and stuff like that I'm hosting, and I got files, things like that, that I actually host off of this, that I have off my home connection and stuff, and I have that, I have a cap on it so it don't really feed into my internet connection too much. So, I have bandwidth limits and stuff on here, especially for my speed. But this is a great computer here. It worked great as a server. Very powerful. It's just strictly straightforward. And I also recently put a graphics card in here. A low-end graphics card is like a $30 graphics card, but it's a 1 GB graphics card, and it really allows me to support multiple monitors, because I have a plasma mounted above my computer system, my gaming rig that I have up on the wall. It's like a 40-inch, but I never use it except for if I'm laying in bed playing games or something. But this is actually connected into that, and normally if I need to get on here or do anything like that, I'll just remote assistance with TeamViewer and just kind of jump on here and do work and stuff that way, and it works great. I mean, I have my Minecraft server, all that kind of stuff hosted over here in my gaming servers, because I figured out that you're better off just hosting servers on a computer that you have in your house versus on the computer that you're actually trying to play on the server on, because it just lags you out, because your computer in most cases can't handle everything that's going on, and you get lag and players get lag. So it's best to just have a dedicated computer, put all your game servers and stuff like that on. But moving on, and we'll talk about this one right here. This here is my Dell Studio XPX 9000. Now, I got this back in about 2008, 2009. It's been a couple of years, and it's a hell of a gaming machine. This has got an Intel Core i7 inside. It's got 8 GBs of RAM. I recently upgraded it to 16, and I decided to go ahead and pull that RAM out, and it actually, over here, that's where it had 16 in it, and now it's back down to 8, but I took 8 out of here, put it over into here, into this gaming system, over into this computer. But it's got a 1 GB graphics card, and it's got 2 500 GB hard drives. They both run RAID, and I'm getting ready to reformat it. It's Windows 7 Professional, and it's a hell of a computer. I mean, it can run anything. It can run Skyrim, Battlefield, you name it. I mean, it'll run it pretty much on max graphics, little to no lag. I mean, you might lag a little bit, so if you start lagging, just turn the graphics down, but I mean, I've done video editing galore off of this thing, and believe me, it can really handle stuff. I actually modified it, and I actually had some video footage and stuff of me modifying this, but I actually cut a hole in the side of the case and installed a H60 liquid cooling unit into it. And I mean, it was a nightmare, but I got it installed in the case and everything. And I mean, this computer, you talk about running 100% CPU. I mean, it was running about 70, 80 Celsius. I mean, that's just way too hot. Upgrade to thermal paste, still running 70, 80 Celsius. And, you know, I mean, so processor shouldn't be over like 67 Celsius. I mean, according to the manufacturer, you know. And Dell, they just don't care. they put the stock cooling units in and go about their business. So, but I'll never buy another Dell computer because I actually had a lot of problems with this Dell and this Studio XPX. I have issues with the RAID systems and stuff. It wanted to desync and just variety of problems. I had to call Dell and talk to them, and I learned a lot. That's when I really started learning more and more about computers. Because I mean, I've started building computers recently, but this here was a hell of a gaming rig. But I had good times on this, ran gaming communities and everything, and you know, this has just been a hell of a machine. It really has. I'm probably going to give this to my girlfriend, or I'm going to sell it for a couple $100. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I really don't need a home server because I have this over here as a home server. But I might continue to use this as a home server because this will be a Linux-based home server probably, and this could be a Windows-based home server. So 2 home servers, one for Linux, one for Windows. I might do that. Not really sure entirely yet what I'm going to do. Still deciding on that, still debating on that. But anyways, moving on to my gaming rig. This here is my gaming machine. This is a Thor Rosewell gaming tower, custom built. I built it myself from scratch. It's got a Corsair 750 watt power supply. It's got a high-end motherboard. It's a $150 motherboard. The power supply was like $85. It's got 32 GBs of RAM inside. Trust me, that is overkill. Most you'll ever need in a gaming rig is about 16. I got 32 inside this thing. It can handle anything, and it's wonderful when it comes to video edit. I can video edit from hell. But it's also got an AMD 8-core processor, and I mean, it's insane. I mean, the processing cores and stuff that I have. And I also got my media flash drive player and all that kind of stuff that I'm getting ready to actually install here in a few minutes. But you know, it's got SSDs. It's got 2 SSDs running RAID 1, 120 GB SSDs. Then it's got 4 hard drives inside of it. 2 hard drives running RAID 1, and that's where I store my video games, my media, my pictures, all that kind of good stuff. Then I have another hard drive located down in here, 2 more hard drives located down in here. And those hard drives are also running RAID 1, and that's for my video editing, things like that. So I have 6 hard drives inside of this computer pretty much. For storage, things like that, I have over 2 terabytes of storage, and then I have my SSDs for my operating system. So it's a hell of a machine. And if I ever disable the RAID and take that off there, which I probably never will, but I could easily go to 4 terabytes. I mean, I'll have 4 terabytes of storage, which I think anybody's going to like, whoa, damn, dude, that's a lot. But got my CD-ROM drive here, and you know, I'm actually running a Corsair H100 liquid cooling unit on this, and I also have an NVIDIA GeForce 750 graphics card. So this is a pretty badass gaming rig right here, believe it or not, guys. But anyways, I was wanting to show you guys all my computers. Wanted to talk to you guys about each one of them and just tell you a little bit of history and stuff about them. But this is what I'm currently using here. It's got my fan controls, all that good stuff, and you know, it's a hell of a gaming machine. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead, finish cleaning these, and holler at you later. Peace out, YouTube. Please subscribe.